Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're doing some more work on Olive the T2 Volkswagen camper, and today it's all about the table and the front of the cupboard. It's going to make some quite big differences inside. It'll actually look like I've moved forward for once. So let's just show you what I'm up to. So this is the front of the cupboards, and it's had about 3 coats of Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch cream coloured paint. It's actually called Heirloom White, and then it's been lacquered over the top, about 3 coats of lacquer, and that's ready to go on the front of the cupboard. And it's already got, you can see through there, the tambour door fittings that you saw in a previous video, so that's ready to go in. And then we've got the table to sort out. So what I've done is I've bought this base. It's a Fiamma Flame folding base. Basically it's a tripod that collapses, and you can use that indoors or outdoors. You haven't got to choose where your leg goes, you know, it's just freestanding. And that attaches to the standard Fiamma poles. We got the aluminium one, but the chrome ones fit as well. We've cut it to a suitable length, put the black caps on there, and we've got the sort of classic Fiamma mounting cone, and that's got to go on the base of the table, underneath of the table I should say. We've made a tabletop from solid beech, and this is basically the same materials I'm using for the worktops. So it's a 27mm thick piece of beech. It is quite heavy, you know, it's not a good thing from that point of view, but it's a really good thing from a point of view of if it gets knocked, it's solid wood, so it'll survive it well and still look good. On the back I've marked out where the centre is for putting the base on, and what I also want to do is route the area where the disc is, the circle, to recess a little bit, and that's to make things A little lighter, but B a little thinner. A reason that thinner matters is we've always had in mind this area to the left of the fridge to be used to store the table in, and that obviously goes in there just fine. We've got this board, and that board is going to have some material attached to it so that things don't get scuffed, but the base of the table has also got to go in there, and that gap is actually tapered and it'll only go in that far. So obviously if that was in the middle, the table wouldn't go all the way back. So that's another reason for trying to thin things down. So I'm going to try and get the table done first, and then we'll put the front on the cupboard, which incorporates this bit over the top, and we'll start to get the full effect. If you want a quick easy way to achieve a decent circular recess with a router, that's a cap off an aerosol, but anything else of a suitable diameter. Got some washers and a wood screw. I'm just going to put that through the hole. There we go. Position it on centre, like so. Use my drill driver to screw that down. Don't have to be tight. There we go. It's located enough. And then what we can do is use that to sit the router against to get into a good position. And that's going to put me about the width of the blade outside this circle, and this is the edge of the plate I want to recess. That's probably perfect. So I'm going to plunge in and then follow this as my guide all the way around. I know it's going to sound odd, but beech is so dense that that little bit has made a difference to the weight, even after I've fitted the bracket. And hey presto, she goes in. And that's about right, because I need to allow a bit of thickness to put some felt on this board to stop things rattling. Okay, so this is the board that the table will touch, the side of the fridge, and we've got this van lining material, which is quite nice actually. It's what they call four-way stretch material, so basically it's mouldable into shapes. The back's quite coarse, the front's very soft, and we're going to glue it onto the panel, wrap it, probably a few staples with just for security, but this stuff should stick quite well, and it will stop the rattles and line that little compartment. So we've got trim fix adhesive, and this suggests that you spray one surface in, so let's say, the vertical position, and the other surface in a horizontal position to get maximum impact for the least amount of glue. It sounds very sensible, so we'll do that. Now, it's up and down fan shape, so orientate your can correctly to get the best coverage. Just to the edge. Right, that's that bit. So I'm just going to move that. And this, we'll do it this way. Join us as the glue's had time to set, about 5 or 6 minutes. Just it's contact adhesive, so it just has to flash off, basically some of the solvent disappear. Then you place your coating on, make sure you've got a decent overlap all the way around, and then from the middle use palm of your hand to smooth and stretch. Then have a little look at the other side. This tells me this is the front bottom, but touches the fridge. There's a recess there for a fixing. So that's got to get tucked. This area is going to be trimmed with a minimum of bulk. Well, there's the panel, as you can see. You're not going to see an awful lot of it because it's going in here. And that will stop the table from rattling and scuffing. Okay, so I'm making a strap from cream vinyl to hold the table back into the position we just made. And this is a bit of an experiment. We shall see how it goes. First thing I need is a line down the middle. And there. This is a guide, doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to help me when I fold this later. So, what I'm hoping to do is glue this like that. We'll see how well that goes. This glue's pretty good, so I'm putting my hopes on this, the trim fix. But if I put a good coat on here, and I'm making a strap bigger than I need it, I should be able to get what I want out of it. So we'll let that dry. Okay, so you see I've cut a bit of a shape in the end here. That's 1/3 the width of this. What I'm going to try and do, so I can get my own light, is fold this to the centre line. Like so. Which is not too difficult. Like that, and then flatten it out to the crease. Like so. And my intention with this end was basically to get a bit of reinforcement by folding it back. Now, whether that turns out to be a good idea or a bad idea, I do not know. So I think what I'm going to do a little bit more glue. Like so. And then that's the backing plate for the turnbuckle. It will fit nicely there. And I'm going to use this as the template to draw a hole in the middle. Like so. A couple of marks for where the slot goes. And away we go. Right, next, put slots in, like so. Then using your outer piece, this is the front, basically you've got to try and thread those through the slots you've made without bending them. They're going through quite nicely. That's it. Okay, push down on the back. Make sure they're fully home. A bit more whittling around the hole. Then you take this plate, and it's got some recesses, little grooves next to the slots. You have the grooves facing out to allow the tongs to fold into them. So there you go. Put that on. What I'm going to do is use the open pliers just to push either side of that first, just to make sure I'm down as tight as I can be. Then bend the tab over and into the groove in this plate, like so. Then we go to the next side. Again, part your pliers a bit, push down, and then pull it over into the groove. And this bit comes through and turns, and that's our turnbuckle. So I've got a strap over long that I can look at installing to hold the table back. Now my plan here is this slides in, the table leg also fits there and jams everything up nicely. So what I'm actually after is getting the strap in a position where I could go around the table leg and onto the base of the table. Okay, so that's giving me the correct length. What I'm going to do now is properly attach it. It's only held in with staples at the moment. So I'll tighten it up just a fraction to allow for it stretching. So I'm just going to take the front two staples out. One. Rusty pliers, so I'll have to clean that bit of vinyl up in a second. And I've got a couple of reasonably aggressive but short screws with washers. So what I'm going to do is just tuck it back by a couple of millimeters, like that. Put the screw in where the staple was. And then nip it back up. And then what we'll do, pull the other staples out, like so. Like so. Tuck the tail under, just to give us a neater finish. And there we go. There's our strap. And hopefully, touch wood, oh I am, slide this in. Yeah, it does make it tight, but that's good. I'd rather have it tight. A neat job. I'm quite pleased with that. That has gone well. Right, trying to put the cupboard front back on. And pop it into position. A little snug there. We'll live with that. Looking good. Just get the screws. Let's see how far it's all changed shape while it's been off. Looking good. This piece of trim will be glued into place. I'm not going to do it now just in case I need to adjust anything. But that will go on there. That pencil line on it. There we go. That goes there. Covers those up. A bit of dust on that, but oh, very pleased. Very pleased indeed. That's starting to look like it belongs. I'll just lower this worktop dummy into place. Brilliant. That now looks like somebody loves it. Well, I think that's all for today. I think I've done quite well. Even just fitting that table in there was a little bit more involved than I imagined, but I'm really pleased with the result. I think that looks reasonably professional. You know, a couple of wrinkles in the front of my fridge front to think about maybe re-gluing that. That's not too bad. My hand aerosoled MDF work fronts look pretty good. Tambour door looks excellent. The beach front on that, which is faux, will probably match this as soon as I get some Danish oil on it. It's just to seal it up once I've finished. But I've got to do the same with the worktop up there as well. Worktops will be about that thick, so again you get the impression it's going to look really quite solid and quite plush. Really starting to see it now. Very happy. So from me and from Olive, that's all for today from To The Garage. If you like what you've seen, then please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, feel free to comment, good, bad or indifferent. It's always interesting to see what people really think. And head on over to thegarage.co.uk, which is our website. You can find all sorts of other bits and pieces on the T4, T25, T2, Jeep, XK8, and we've got a little shop where you can support the channel basically just by buying a sticker, and we'd really appreciate that. So that's all, folks. See you again soon. John out.